Did you spend time looking at like patents or the architecture of technology? I'm just kind of curious, like what do you really love about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did like kind of an internship during my undergrad in nanotech and then this neurotech and I don't know, I just kind of liked it. I feel like I was kind of imprinted on me, and you're kind of like uh ready for, I don't know, some kind of cool new thing, and that's kind of what came up. But for me, what's really interesting is, I guess, the hardware side of things, like the actual
Hmm.
building it and designing of electrodes and actual devices. The code and data, it actually doesn't interest me at all. I know it's important, but you couldn't get me to code at all. But I really like kind of this building and design especially, and testing those physical things out. And then I really like the business side of things too. I think it's really interesting, and it's very important to not just be like some lone PhD student or lone graduate students working somewhere and on something that nobody will ever see, but actually like give it to the world, and bring it to market, and hopefully make a lot of money. I mean, my theory is if you're uh, making money, that means you're helping people for the most part. And so if you can make a lot of money, that's good too, and bring something great into the world. Be the next, I don't know, deep brain stimulator or pacemaker or something like this. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Is there is there a design that you do think is beautiful? I don't know the phraseology in terms of like how you think of things. Do you see a design, the brain simulation, the paradigm chip, or whatever that exists? Do you see it as beautiful, or like what? How do you describe the feeling when you're looking at it and you're breaking it apart? Is it beauty? Is it elegance? Like how do you describe it? And like kind of like a meta way. I'm kind of like examining you a little.
Yeah, I think elegance would be maybe
Mm,
the most apt descriptor, but I think clever also, and a lot of
mm,
times to me clever also means like simple, but like simple in a way that like encompasses a lot of things, and maybe you have like one design feature that you shaped it a certain way, and that actually affects like four or five things, and it's like, oh wow, by doing that shape, for example, then we saved a lot of issues with this and this and this, and so I think that's really good. So yeah, elegant and clever to me is like that's the perfect combination.
do you see those a lot in this space, or is it like a rare event, like once a month, once a quarter, that you see something clever like that?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, a lot of the stuff is pretty basic, I would say, and there's not
Mm,
anything that I'd be like it's maybe uninspired, but like it's also based on limitations of what you can do. And so you can't be having cool swoops and stuff like this on something if you don't have the capability to make it. But yeah, I would say it's a more rare thing, and once in a while I do see something that's like, wow, this is really nice. And but yeah, it depends.
what was one of them for the last like 6 or so months, or when was the last time? What was it?
Yeah, so there's some cool, I don't know, like three-dimensional electrodes that use novel materials. I don't know how deep in the weeds you want to get, but
Go
I
deep.
thought that
As
was
long as you're excited about it, I want to hear about it.
yeah, so basically there's a material called liquid crystal polymer, and this is something that they
Mm,
use in electronics a lot and electronics packaging. So whenever you see like a chip, like one of those like little bug looking things, that's what it's coated in. And it's really cool. It's biocompatible, and it's very resilient against chemical attacks. And that's exactly what your body's trying to do is chemically attack it. And so you can do some really cool like three-dimensional shapes with this material, and I don't know, I just think it's really clever. You can take advantage of a lot of cool features with it. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's been really interesting.
what's the benefit of the customization and 3D shapes?
Yeah. So okay. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about the specific application of it. I mean, so that's the thing is like different applications. Brain computer interfaces.
Mm,
You're gonna have different design compared to peripheral nerves compared to something else. This one was actually a cornea implant, and so into the eye, and so you're basically reading from the nerve signals. The nerves that are at the back of the eye, and so you basically want to shape it the same shape as the eye because you don't want to have like flat planar, kind of discs and or have a bunch of them or something like this. So if you can like kind of mold it, it's a really clever way to make sure that you get into as much contact as possible. And I don't know, just the way that they do it is really interesting. So again, I'm mechanical engineering by training, so we were doing a lot of like dies and presses and kind of like forming of like metal. So it's kind of going back to that a little bit, and you know, bringing together all these fields that you might not even you know, think about, kind of almost like, you know, making a like a steel bowl and making a neurotechnology kind of might have the same fundamental, you know, principles behind them.